My friend, who is now also my boss, swears a lot at work. While it's never directed at his employees specifically, it's usually in ways that feel overreactive and out of the blue for work conversation. It's generally shocking and uncomfortable for me, and I sense my fellow employees as well. I strongly compartmentalize work and free time, and swearing doesn't usually bother me more in casual situations. Do I tell him it bothers me since he's my friend, or do I suck it up and deal with it because he's my boss? And do I bring it up on or off the clock?
God, all these are so good.
In Chicago, that's a great question.
Is it good?
Well, here's my question. Because I've had this personal debate for a while now. I feel like, listen, I'm totally down with cursing. I do it a lot. But there's something about, there's certain environments where it's so grating to me. Like if I'm out to eat with friends, and someone's like telling a story and cussing a bunch, like that doesn't bother me. Oh, no, that does. But if I'm in a bar, it doesn't. So the environmental nature of it really changes.
But if there's so many layers here, because if you're talking about a cuss, this person's doing a cuss in a workplace, a cuss in a workplace environment, right? There's a lot of different ways that can be interpreted. For instance, if he gets back his company's financial report and they had a bad, they underperformed in the fourth quarter, much like the Green Bay Packers did in their Thursday night season opener.
Sports Goof.
Thank you. If that happens and my boss goes shit, then that's fine. But if he, is just walking down the hallway and is trying to, goof around with Jerry in accounting and goes, "Hey, Jerry, go fuck a dog," then that's not, that is insufficient. That won't do.
So let me draw a line in the middle of those two. What if it's like, the 12 o'clock lunch hour, everybody's eating, he microwaves his thing, and he's like, "Oh, these leftovers taste like shit."
Right? Hey, Jerry, go fuck a dog.
Okay, wait.
Go fuck a dog, Jerry. Come on, man.
You really fucked the dog.
Just go fuck a dog already, buddy.
Jerry, you're 2 months late with this report. Really fuck the dog.
We gonna fuck this dog or what, Jerry?
Like if you're like, hey, Jerry, stop being such a dick. If you're just clowning around, that's okay. But if you're like, hey, Jerry, I'd like to squeeze your dick after a nice dinner and some cocktails, then that's something that's
maybe we can get a dog in the mix too. Just saying. Jerry.
All right, see you at the retreat.
It's weird now that I have a kid. It's been like stopping cursing has been sort of like how I imagine a lot of people stop smoking. They keep moving back the drop dead red line, at which point there can be no more. I mean, I am at a point right now where I'm still swearing, but I know that she's too little to know what I'm doing, so that's fine. But I don't know that I'm going to be able to make the transition to not. I think I'm just going to have to work really hard to teach you the difference.
You got to phase words out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Justin, real talk. Look at that sweet baby's face. At what point are you going to allow her to use curse words in your home?
Oh, she can do that. I am completely 100% morally unfazed by cursing. She can curse on
you say that now, but you get that child in a preschool or school environment.
Okay, see, now this is what you're talking about, Griffin. I don't care if she curses at home. I do care if she curses at work. When she goes to work, I need her.
Hey, Jerry, go fuck a dog. You old dog fucker, you, Jerry.
I can't have her making me look like a bad parent in front of the other moms and dads.
To answer the question,
that's what we've been doing for 5 minutes now.
But I want to say something.
Okay.
But I know that I, in real life, wouldn't. Like, I'd feel that need. It would be a little grating. But I also feel like maybe it's the kind of thing that over time, give it a couple months, and that it just fades into the background. This is another weird quirk of the old office.
Unless you work at, like, a hospital or something.
Well, then the problem's going to take care of itself.
I guess.
Go fuck a dog. I am.
Is that a prescription? Yes.
Okay, what if you were to start off? Okay, what if you eased into it with like jokes? Like this is a pretty classic McElroy technique. You're seriously concerned about it, but you'll joke about it.
Kidding on the square.
Are you talking about
on the square?
We didn't invent passive aggressive behavior. Right?
No, we did invent passive aggressive joking though. I think passive aggressive like it's not passive aggressive. It's passive. It's like comical aggressive. Like you're easing it. Like you're like, listen to you, Mr. Sailor, with that salty tongue. You start there, and then you say that every time, and eventually you're gonna get in his head. Like, are you serious? Are you being serious with these right now? And then it's like, well, do you care? Are you opening the door to this serious conversation that I've joked my way into?
Let me throw out another manipulation. You do passive-aggressive roundabout complaints when you guys are out for drinks. Like, man, have you noticed how much people curse around the office? Don't make it about him. You just say, like, in general, people use a lot of foul language there. It's kind of upsetting, right? In a workplace, I just don't think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
Convince him to make a new rule about cursing.
Or you get him to institute an actual swear jar. His idea. You didn't have to do shit.
And let's go down another strata in the passive-aggressive dungeon that we're burying ourselves in. Just write down on a piece of paper, boy, people at this office sure do swear a lot, and then you put that in an envelope and you bury it in the yard.
Mm-hmm. I think that's more passive than aggressive. I think that's just passive.
Sure, but if anyone finds that, oh boy, critical hit.
Well, that's why you can't bury it in your own yard.
No.